Hi, and welcome to Five with Viveport. This is the show where we spend 5 minutes exploring games you can get through your Viveport subscription. My name is Rick, and I'm your guide here at Five with Vive. I've been a Viveport subscriber for 4 years and find a lot of value and fun in my Viveport library. But I didn't see a lot of coverage of Viveport, so I thought I'd start this little channel and share what I'm playing and give you some quick takes of games that you can judge whether a certain game in your library might be right for you. In this intro clip, we talk about Viveport, what it is, and why you may want to consider it. What we're looking at here on the screen is the Viveport website, where we can take a quick look at what Viveport offers. Viveport's kind of a mix of Steam VR and Xbox Game Pass. Viveport is the application and gaming store from the folks at HTC. This is the company who makes the Vive hardware and headsets, the Vive and Vive Pro and the Cosmos, the recently announced Vive Pro 2 and Focus Plus. Well, they've had this library here for some time. You can buy apps from here, just like in Steam, but they also offer a subscription service like Xbox Game Pass. So you pay a fee, either monthly or annually, to access what they call the Infinity Library. And this library is a mix of games and apps that you can play for free. Now, that's free in air quote, folks, as part of the subscriptions. Obviously, you buy the subscription, and then the games and apps that are included in the subscription, you can try out as often as they're included in Infinity. So you download an app onto your Windows desktop and you access your content from the Windows PC. This is for PC VR, right? So you need a headset that can connect to your PC in a variety of ways. If you look at this little graphic on the screen, you can see that they're showing, obviously, their Vive headset, but also a Rift, also a Vive Valve Index. So they cover a wide variety, in fact, almost all of the consumer headsets that you might have. And they've made a special call out for the Oculus Quest, but with Link. So you can even use your Quest, and as I have many times either using Link or the virtual desktop application, you can play many of the games here in the Infinity Library. So you'll go here to the Viveport webpage, you'll subscribe now, sign in, and about 1,000 titles are yours to choose from. Now, it can be a mixed bag, but lately Vive have been including some real standout titles, and you can see just a handful of them right here. Saints and Sinners, AAA title. I mean, it is a top seller over on the Quest and also PC VR. Moss, which was a Quest title, it's been now brought over to PC VR. The Room of Dark Matter, and many, many more. In fact, let's click in and take a quick look. Right now, as you subscribe, you're able to pick one of the titles that you can keep forever. So if you subscribe to an annual subscription, you can pick Saints and Sinners, for instance, to keep, or one of the other top titles that you may have. Because remember, as long as you have the subscription, you have access to the titles that are in the subscription. So here's Wraith Afterlife, Saints and Sinners, as I've mentioned, Phasmophobia. These are all very popular games, but in the horror genre, that may not be your thing. Many, many more to choose from, and we're going to go over some of them. They have a lot of free-to-play titles, so even if you sign up and don't subscribe, there are things you can still take advantage of. You can see your updated titles here. Racket NX, one of my personal favorites, but also non-gaming titles like Gravity Sketch. You can see that there are a number of titles here in the coming soon section you may have heard of. Things that are popular. Again, if you're an Oculus Quest user or a Steam VR user, you're probably familiar with a lot of these titles. Now, everything's not going to be here. You're not going to find Half-Life Alyx or Medal of Honor Above and Beyond in here. But many of these titles that you would spend well over the cost of the annual subscription of about $100, you will be saving money in the long run if you play one title a month. And as for me, I tend to jump in and out of lots of different titles. I'm ADHD like that, so this works out really, really well for me. So once you subscribe, you download, and here I'm showing you the Viveport app. So this is the application that you actually manage your subscription through. So you can see it's very much like the website. In fact, as I go to the home page, it looks very much like the home page of the website, right? You review and shop for your games here. And all the games that have the little infinity symbol, the 8-lane on its side, are available to you to download and play as long as they're in the subscription. And I can tell you, I've never ran into an issue where I've downloaded a game and then had it go out of my subscription allotment before I was finished with it. In fact, I probably have 8 titles sitting in there now that I bounce around from. But in addition to games, you can see Vive is really big into the art scene and the performance scene. So there's all these virtual museums, and one that really actually caught my attention is in my library, and it's called, of course, I'm going to have to fumble now finding it, right? It's called Museum of Others Realities. And so I can go in here and visit the Museum of Other Realities kind of anytime I want. Now, if you're looking at my library, you see Half-Life Alyx. Well, what Viveport does is it uses Steam VR to run your game. So you must have Steam VR installed in order to play your games in Infinity. And so you can see that I have my library selected and my activity. So that's showing every game that I have that's both Viveport and Steam. If I click this item down here that says Infinity, these are the ones that I have that are in my Viveport Infinity library. And you can see actually the last one I was in wasn't even a game. It's an application for VR design and prototyping called Tavori. Because again, there are lots and lots of titles in here that aren't necessarily games. But here's 3D Organon, a anatomy application. There's my Museum of Other Realities app. There's exercise app, there's education apps, lots and lots for you to choose from here. But we're going to be focusing on gaming in this channel and showing you what type of games are here that you might want to check into. And there's lots to choose from. And as I've clicked here and I've sorted through, you can see that there are 1,564 games available through Viveport. That's not necessarily in Infinity. But we can come down here and see, if I sort and say, just show me games available through Infinity, there's 918 games. Now, obviously, there's some of these that are bargain bin things that you're going to go into once and probably never go into again. But there's also these hidden gems that you'll find that you may not come across anywhere else. And that's what I hope to help you find here at 5 with Viveport. So thanks for joining, and I hope you'll subscribe, come back soon. I'm going to try to have updates regularly, so please continue to check us out, and I'll see you in 5. Bye now.